It's me, your boy Blue Gats again, and today I'll be talking about the new Goblin Riders.
These nuts. Got him!
First off, we have Goblin Rider Doug the Assaulter, and it's an Earth Warrior effect monster that's level 3 and has 1600 attack and 0 defense. Its first effect reads, if this card is in your hand, you can detach one exceeds material from a monster on the field, and if you do, special summon this card. Second effect, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Goblin Rider spell trap from your deck to your hand.
Nice!
Next, we have Goblin Rider Clutter the Noisy, and it's a Fire Beast Warrior effect monster that's level 3 and has 1500 attack and 0 defense. First effect reads, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one Goblin monster in your graveyard except Goblin Rider Clutter the Noisy and special summon it. Second effect reads, during your opponent's main phase, if this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can detach one exchange material from a monster on the field, and if you do, special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. I would say that this is pretty nice, but you have to use it on your opponent's main phase, so that's not particularly amazing.
But yeah, she could get the pipe.
This is garbage! No.
But they have a card that allows you to get around this. Next, we have Goblin Rider Boon the Mach Speed, and it's a Wind Warrior effect monster that's level 3 and has 1300 attack and 0 defense. First effect reads, its only effect reads, during the main phase, if this card is in your hand or graveyard, quick effect, you cannot special summon Goblin Rider Boon the Mach Speed until the end of the next turn. Also, detach one excess material from a monster on the field, and if you do, special summon this card.
Good luck! You'll need it!
Next, and lastly, for the main deck monsters, we have Goblin Rider Myanda the Cold-Blooded, and it's a Water Fiend effect monster that's level 3 and it has 1400 attack and 0 defense. Its first effect reads, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon this card. You can special summon one Goblin monster from your hand, except Goblin Rider Myanda the Cold-Blooded. Second effect reads, if this card is in your graveyard, you can detach one excess material from a monster on the field, and if you do, special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. Next, for the extract monsters, we have Big Head Gabunga, and it's a Light Beast Warrior Xyz effect monster that is rank 3 and has 2100 attack and 0 defense, and requires 2 level 3 monsters. First effect reads, if this card is Xyz summoned, you can add one Goblin monster from your deck to your hand. Second effect, if this Xyz if an Xyz materials is detached from monsters on the field, you can target one other face-up monster on the field, attach it to this card as material.
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
It's non-targeting monster removal. And third effect reads, during the end phase, you can this cold is annoying as fuck. Anyways, third effect reads, during each end phase, you can attach one Goblin monster from your deck to this to this card as material. I really hate this cold.
It's crazy. That's crazy that you thought I would give a flying.
Next, we have Goblin's Crazy Beast, and it's a Dark Fiend Xyz effect monster that's rank 6 and it has 2700 attack and 0 defense, and it requires 2+ level 6 monsters. First effect reads, once per turn, quick effect, you can target one spell trap on the field, detach 2 materials from from monsters on the field, and if you do, attach that card to this card as material. Second effect reads, if a monsters you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can attach one material from this card instead. And the third effect reads, if this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon it, then you can attach one Goblin monster from your graveyard to it as material. But
One more thing.
third effect is a once per duel effect. Next, for the spells and traps, we have Grand Gathering of the We have Grand Gathering of the Goblin Riders, and it's a continuous spell, and its first effect reads, Goblin monsters you control gain 300 attack for each Goblin monster you control. Which is nice because this could easily stack, and this card doesn't really prevent you from activating multiple of them. Second effect reads, during your main phase, you can normal summon one Goblin monster in addition to your normal summon / set. So that's also pretty nice. Plus, if you do decide to run a bunch of the other generic Goblin cards, you can basically just set up a bunch of Exceed spamming and then just detach willy-nilly.
I have no idea what you just said.
Anyways, for the third effect, you can target 2 Goblin monsters you control that have a level and activate one of these effects. The level of one of them becomes the level of the other, or their levels become the total original levels. Which is pretty nice because, again, if you decide to splash in the generic goblins, which most of them are just level 4s, you can basically just modify them to make them level 3 so they can function within the deck. Next and lastly for the spells, we have Grand Entrance of the Goblin Riders, and it's a normal spell card, and its first effect reads, add 1 Goblin monster from your deck to your hand, then you can detach 1 Exceed material from a monster on the field, and if you do, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Goblin monster from your hand. Second effect reads, you can banish this card from your graveyard, detach 1 Exceed material from a monster on the field, then you can add 1 Goblin monster from your graveyard to your hand. Anyways, next and lastly for, I guess, the traps, or trap, we have Goblin Rider Stampede, and it's a continuous trap, and its first effect reads, during the main phase, you can immediately, after this card resolves, Exceed summon only Goblin monsters you control as material. So you can basically get around that special summon on your opponent's main phase thing with this effect. The sucky thing is you can only use one of these effects per turn, which again sucks. Because the second effect is really good. The second effect reads, if you control a Goblin Exceeds monster, you can target 1 effect monster on the field, detach 1 Exceeds material from a monster on the field, doesn't have to be the Goblin Exceeds, and if you do, negate that target's effect until the end of this turn. Anyways, so what you guys think about the new Goblin Rider cards, and it's been me, your boy Blue Getsuga, and I'm out.
You're all free now!